I was planning on being semi-cute to do this, but Mr. being up most of the night last night and basically dealing with tantrums for the last 24 hours kind of threw a wrench in those plans. But I did want to get the introductory video done with my shaggy-headed little baby. This is Wyatt. Wyatt is 2.5 years old. He will be 3 in January, so a little over 2.5. He is non-verbal. He does say random words, stuff that he's picked up with mine and his dad's conversations. He doesn't use anything in context unless it's something that he shouldn't be saying. He does have developmental issues. He's got some other issues, and the pediatrician that we got when he was born, I honestly had so much going on during my pregnancy. I did not research pediatricians like I should have in our area. So whoever was on rotation at the hospital when I had him is just who I chose, because that's who did his, I'm not getting into that controversy today. So, we just went with who was on rotation at the hospital when I had him. She happened to be great, so I thought. Because he's my first child, you know, I don't really know the difference between a great and a poor pediatrician. Besides, you know, she seems to be listening to our concerns and taking care of the things that we want taken care of so far. And they seem to be anti-prescription, which I'm weird about putting anything into my body chemical-wise. Like, it's hard to get me to take something for a headache. I don't like putting man-made substances like that into my body. Besides, you know, unless it's a soda or something. But pharmaceutical-wise, those who sell the cure sell the sickness, if you follow what I mean. So I'm weird about that stuff. And, you know, I was on track with doing everything that we could without prescriptions. Well, I started bringing up how he wasn't speaking like I felt he should be speaking, how he wasn't responding to his name like he shouldn't have been responding. What is it, bud? Just small things that she said was totally normal and he would grow out of. Flash forward to 2 years later, January at his 24-month checkup, she says she's referring him to speech therapy. And if we hadn't heard from her office or theirs in a couple of weeks, not years, good night, to call them. So I kept calling and calling and calling. And all she was telling me was the wait list is long, the wait list is long, the wait list is long. That's all I ever kept getting. So finally, you know, 8 months later, and yes, I admit I dropped the ball. I should have made a switch way before now. That is totally on me. I found another doctor here who happens to be lead of pediatrics at the local hospital where we had him. Our very first visit, she interacted with Man here more than the first doctor ever did. She asked more questions than the first doctor ever did. She gave us more questionnaires to fill out to get answers. She stayed in the room with us for almost an hour, running through everything with us. I left there almost in tears because I finally felt heard. I finally felt validated that I wasn't going crazy, and it wasn't, hush baby. It wasn't just first time mom paranoia. There were legitimate concerns that she wanted to address. Today is, hey, what is it? Today is Tuesday. His appointment was this past Thursday. We have already heard from 2 of the referrals that she made, which is speech and developmental therapy. Unfortunately, the wait list for developmental therapy here is over a year long, but they are mailing us paperwork to get on the wait list for that, which, I mean, if we gotta wait, we gotta wait. Speech therapy should be fairly quick from what I've heard others talk about them through this company. They called today. I had 2 phone calls with them today. The first was to verify my name and my contact information. The second was to verify mine and Wyatt's information, contact information, and how I wanted to do the intake appointment, which was on the phone, Teams, which is kind of like Zoom, Google Teams, or a face-to-face appointment. So I chose the phone call. That is a few weeks from now, on the 18th, I believe, early in the morning. She said it'll take about an hour and a half of yes or no questions about him and what he can and can't do. I've got a packet of paperwork from them to DocuSign in my email. Can't sign it and send it back until after my appointment. We cover everything for eligibility. But that's pretty much the rundown of the beginning of what we're about to embark on. If you feel like your doctor is not listening, like they don't hear you, they don't take you seriously, leave. There are so many more pediatricians that are willing to listen and do right for you. It's really hard to get a healthcare provider to provide healthcare these days. I think myself, everybody just wants to hear what you think is going on, agree with you, write a prescription, and send you out the door. There are doctors that still want to do their job. But I just wanted to give you guys a little insight as to what the process beginning looks like, what you'll experience if you have to take these steps. It's fairly easy. It's just phone calls, scheduling appointments in the beginning. This has been my life for the last 24 hours. Well over 24 hours. When I'm done talking here, I'm going to put in some footage that I took last night while we were up. So we've been up since about 3 a.m. It is now 5:15. Why are we awake, dude? Oh, is that why? I need another reason. For the first 2 hours, it was a straight tantrum. Don't know why. This was after a day full of tantrums. Nothing could satisfy him today. It was a terrible, terrible day. He didn't go to sleep until about 10:30, and then was up at 3. So, thankfully, these nights are now few and far between, because up until he was about 2.5, he was awake every night for 3 hours at a time, and it was never the same time, so I'd know how early to go to bed. Yep. He said, hey, do you see Wyatt? But it was every night, 3 hours at a time. with no rhyme or reason. And out of nowhere, it kind of leveled itself out. I don't know how, but thankful that it did. But now, randomly, he'll get up like this for 3 hours at a time. It should be about another hour, unfortunately, before he starts winding down and wanting to go to sleep. Because he's just as content as he could be. When I came in here, it was completely dark. I don't know what happened to his nightlight, but I think he might have woken up and saw that it was completely dark, and it freaked him out a little bit, and that's why we had to stay up, I think. Excuse me. I don't know, but say hey, baby. Here's to hoping we get back to sleep soon, because Mama is tired. Say hey. No. No. What's that? Is that Wyatt? You see Wyatt? Let go of my hair. No. No. Let go. So that's just a little bit of what happens when he has his episodes, I guess. The little clip at the end there is something new that he started doing, getting really, really rough, pulling hair, hugging really hard. I don't think he means harm. He thinks it's a game because he's laughing when he does it, but it's new and it's getting worse. He doesn't know his own strength. So this is what we're dealing with. Hopefully this new path that we're waiting to walk down will ease things out, because I'm tired, y'all. I'm so tired. My child won't even go out in the public. He wants to be held the entire time that we're out. He won't sit in a shopping cart. He won't walk in the store. He won't stay with us when we're out in public. So we're basically confined to our yard, our house, and the park. So hopefully when we get this stuff rolling, we'll be able to get him out and we can all have a life. Because right now everything is centered around figuring out how to make him comfortable and happy. And doing life things right now is just not a part of that. And I hate it so much. I just want him to have a normal childhood. So from here on out, I'm not waiting on a doctor to tell me that a wait list is long. I will scream from the mountaintops if I feel like something else is wrong and not being done. Because my child doesn't deserve this. He didn't deserve her dropping the ball or me. So here's to finding all the pieces that make Wyatt who he is.
You fight back and fight for what matters most when the devil attacks you.